Right, there we go. Got the X Space rocking and rolling. We are coming to you live from Discord, folks. Really appreciate y'all tuning in while we get our speakers up on the stage over in Discord and all the tweets pinned and whatnot. Um, Smash that like button, shoot out a retweet. Let's bring the rest of Quiet Nation in here today, guys. We're gonna get Dr. K for a little AMA. There's been a lot of progress over the last few days on Project Soap, getting it into Testnet, and already minting some Ravencoin blocks. That's super cool. So um, definitely want to smash that like button and retweet the space, folks. Get the rest of Quai Nation in here. It's going to be a good one. Meanwhile, if you are hanging out with us over on X, I'm going to pin a link up above here in a minute. There we go. So you can join us over on Discord. We'll be prioritizing questions there. But if you have any for us or Dr. K, the man himself, feel free to drop it in the comments section of this space. Oh, I need to post that as well. Oop, there we go. And we'll get to him in the back half of this call. I think I see Dr. K here on Discord. How you doing, Dr. K? Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. Man, it's been a crazy week and a half, pushing Project Soap into Testnet. So I was hoping maybe we get a little insight from you to kick us off here. How's it going? How you doing? How's Testnet rolling, and what are you looking at?
Yeah, that's going well. Um, we're we mined a bunch of Ravencoin blocks, on the different pools. We're gonna be working on mining Bitcoin Cash and Dogecoin blocks today.
Heck yeah.
So if that goes well, there's just a couple more sort of like tests for running, but we're hoping to get a fork live by the first half of next week, in mainnet, kind of where we're at. So we just need that validation. We can get mainnet Bitcoin Cash and Dogecoin blocks right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I turned on a mining rig last night during the live stream and was scrolling through the Ravencoin block explorer. That was pretty cool to see. There's been definitely a number of Ravencoin blocks so far. Really looking forward to seeing a Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Litecoin block. So I know the community is keeping their eyes peeled for that as well. Anything else you want to mention before we dive in?
Um, yeah, we're also working to get the staking contract up as well.
Right.
So, unfortunately, we kind of wanted to have that up earlier, relative to when we're kind of going live on mainnet, but such is life.
Yeah, heard. A lot going on, a lot going on. Really appreciate, on behalf of the community, man, we got SOAP in testnet. That's like, code changes and testing on top of dashboards and API updates we have to make. And then on top of all that, staking contracts. So, you guys are working, quadruple time at this point. And so just on behalf of the community, really appreciate you taking the time, today, to spend an hour with us. There's already a ton of questions running through in the chat, so really appreciate it. For those of you who are hanging out with us on X, again, we are simulcasted from Discord, so feel free to drop over there if you want to join in on the chat and ask Dr. K a question. But what do you say, Dr. K? You ready to dive in?
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
Rock on. Yeah, we got a bunch of them coming through here. Community's super pumped for it. Guys, you're missing out if you're not seeing this chat. Community's having a good time here. All right. Noah's asking, is there a restriction on reception of SOAP blocks in the interim between mainnet tag dropping and a week later at adoption date by SOAP nodes?
Yeah, like SOAP doesn't go active until the fork takes hold.
Right.
So like we'll tag the thing, make a release tag, right? And the pools and exchanges will update, and then it'll take. We think we can do it in 5 days, maybe 4. We're just trying to make sure it's next week because we only go into the week of Christmas. So yeah, normally we would do like 7 days at least, but like I said, we're just trying to make sure that it turns on in the middle of next week. So if there's any issues, we can address them with everyone around.
Got it. Got it. So to follow that up, Noah's stating here, it's a given nodes on old GoQuai will reject, but what about SOAP nodes running during interim period between tag release and adoption date? So the way it works, Dr. K, correct me if I'm wrong, is
nothing changes until the adoption day.
right. There's like a specific block height where it actually engages
to allow everyone to coordinate the update. Yeah.
Got it. So there's the actual like change happens at a specific block height. The tag is released before that, and so everybody has an opportunity to update.
Yep.
Got it. Cool. Let's see here. Hopefully that answers your question, Noah. I think your third one there is probably related. So feel free to follow up. I'm going to move along here. Kishore is asking, can we consider tomorrow as the last day of Testnet? Good question.
Well, I mean, Testnet will keep going, right? But we're hoping. Right, we still have to find a Bitcoin Cash and Dogecoin block today, so it's like, you have to make sure that works properly.
Right.
But yeah, once we have that, we'll have a release tag.
Nice. Okay. Well, hopefully sometime today we're gonna see a Bitcoin Cash Dogecoin block. But yeah, to be clear, Orchard will continue running. There will always be a testnet for developers to work with. Rock on. Okay, this is a good question here. Next one is any learnings from testnet that you can share with the audience here?
Yeah, there's just some finickiness with some of the ASICs and like the rental ASICs in terms of how you set your like pool difficulty, as well as like when you tell them to like clean their work and things. It's nothing huge, but just trying to optimize. Right, we want to have as an efficient flow through as possible in the hash rate, right?
Yeah.
So want to make sure everyone's as optimized as they can be.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember you discussing some of that with the team during a stand-up. So that's super interesting. Keep in mind, guys. All right, moving right along here. Let's see here. Estimated block for Kapow and controller activation. Don't think we have one yet, do we? I mean, it's more of like a time period.
Yeah, like I said, if we it depends on like finding that Dogecoin and Bitcoin Cash block today.
Got it. It's kind of working backwards from when we're going to get the release tag and then plus 5 days in Quai Network block times, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like really, we want to target this for Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, so we can like wash out to Thursday, Friday if we need to like help fix things that the pool are having problems. But the issue is like we're going to lose the Americans.
Come Christmas.
We're going to start losing the Americans on Saturday, the 20th. So,
Right. Makes sense.
yeah.
Okay. Right on. Great questions. Next one here is, does Music 2 expect any additional data like nonces, or is everything needed already inside the template?
Say it one more time.
Does Music 2 expect any additional data like nonces, or is everything already inside the template?
So Music 2 has a nonce of some sort. It's derived from the manifest, I believe.
Okay. Right on. A little technical there. Let me know if that helps, Kishore. I'm going to move to the next one here. In our code, we try to match the donor hash with both the main block and all uncles. Is this because SOAP allows work from uncles to count as valid subsidy input?
Yeah, so there's like a couple classifiers. Basically, if like your stale um, subsidy template, so like you use a stale template, you don't get paid. If obviously like you mine a share, but you can't get included within 3 blocks, you don't get paid. Right. This is right. So that like previously existed in the Quai anyway. The template staleness is just to make sure that everyone, as long as there's lively templates being produced, they're going to produce on the lively templates. So, the staleness isn't you don't get paid. I want to say you take a 30% discount is what it is. So you get paid 30% less. So basically, if like it makes it so like you can't attack the system by trying to sort of like mine stales. So like get paid in Quai, like not have us get paid in the subsidy pool. Um, so we just have to like have a more aggressive discount than like our perceived loss profile based off the stale categorization.
Okay. I think I'm tracking. So going back to
Yeah, but then that also means that if the subsidy pool goes offline, Quai keeps producing. You're just producing at a lower hash rate.
right.
So that's fine. And obviously, we just want to make sure we keep the subsidy templates running as much as possible, so that we maintain the greatest amount of revenue possible. Right.
Right. Right. So okay, I think I'm tracking. To go back to the question it asked, in our code we try to match the donor hash with both the main block and all uncles. So ultimately that's for understanding overall staleness, I guess. Is that a correct way of summarizing that?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing analysis to make sure that hash rate in is hash rate out, so to speak.
Got it.
That's what's important.
Okay. Rock on. Cool. Kishore is definitely reviewing the code. Tip of the hat to you, sir. He says we added a new API, get Quai header for donor hash. Will miners or SOAP clients call this directly, or is it meant for internal tooling only?
It's meant for mining profitability websites.
Oh, okay. More visibility. Love it.
Yeah, they requested it.
Nice. Okay, wouldn't indexing donor hashes for every block increase DB size over time?
Yes.
All right. Easy answer there.
What's that?
I said easy answer there.
I mean, it's not like a big number, right?
Yeah,
Like a
no,
tiny number.
understood. Understood.
So
For those of
I'm not
you,
worried about it.
okay. Just out of curiosity, for folks out there who are maybe storage sensitive, do we have any idea what that might look like?
Let me think. You're looking at maybe 8 megabytes a day.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. Rock on.
Yeah,
Rock on.
no, it's nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad at all. Okay, let's see here. Moving right along.
I mean, ultimately, that's not a consensus item. That's like a convenience for pools.
Right.
Like honestly, because like pools need to figure out if like shares ultimately got paid or not.
Right.
So, it's an accounting mechanism. So like, if at some point in the future we need to like trim it at depth or whatever, like it doesn't matter.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, Shikara was mentioning in the dev Q&A, there's probably he knows that there's optimizations that can be made, but those will come in the near future.
Yeah, I not like they don't need to, like at all. Like there's way other more important stuff to focus on.
Sure, fair.
Like yeah, like not even plus.
Right. Yeah, 8 megabits a day isn't that much at all, frankly. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Next one here, Kishore says you are increasing the share reward for valid shares. Why? Suppose I have a valid share and 15 invalid shares. Why should my valid share be worth 16x? This was a comment by Jonathan, if you could answer.
Because it means that if there's like significant invalid production, you're actually pushing out value. You're changing the economics. So there's like an attack vector if you don't have that where somebody could come and produce, make everyone unprofitable.
Got it. Okay. All right. That's interesting. Invalid shares choke out valid ones. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Good questions, Kishore. Right on. Next one here. Will miners need to submit script slash SHA shares metadata explicitly, or will the node infer diff slash count from submitted shares?
Say that one again.
Will miners need to submit script and SHA share metadata explicitly, or will the node infer difficulty slash count from submitted shares?
Sorry, we're talking about the pools?
He's asking about the miners.
The miners, this is just a StrapV1 interface. So like the miners don't need to know anything. It's the normal interface. They just turn their shit on at the pool. It mines. Everything works.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was
There's no inference. There's no anything. You just like connect.
right. Right. Yeah, that was my experience last night as well. Feel free to follow up, Kishore, if I didn't ask that correctly. All right. Last one in this block. It looks like the template is re-encoded each time the hash is calculated. Could caching that hash improve performance, especially during mining?
Yeah, I mean the pools like have optimized when they send updates to grinders. Ultimately, right, you need to update your template for Kapow basically every second. For Shaw and script, you need to update it anytime you get a block height change or a subsidy prep hash change.
Okay. So, I mean, It sounds like that potential improvements really on the pool's end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I'm following. Great questions, Kishore, as always. Really appreciate that. Let's see here. Scrolling through the chat. Shout out Alpha Mine and Steph. Tuning in person. Really appreciate the picture. That's pretty cool to see. Community meeting up in real life. Noah's got a question here about staking. He asked, is staking just going to be for the sake of lockup right now, or is it going to provide liquidity at launch?
Right now, it's just the sake of lockup.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Great question, Noah. I saw another one about staking here. Wotan is asking, when will staking be live? Has the staking website undergone an audit?
Well, the website does not matter as much as the contract. The contract is kind of where we're putting a lot of scrutiny. Yeah, the website not quite as much.
Got it. You were mentioning earlier about timing with the staking. I think the initial expectations that would be available either when SOAP goes to mainnet or even shortly before. Is that still the expectation?
Yeah, I just don't know when we can productionize it. I mean, ideally we'd be shipping it today, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Got it. Understood. Yeah, I know a few members of the team are actively reviewing that contract, and the plan is to have that audited. So we'll just say that out loud. Great questions, guys. Rock on. Let's see here. And chat is on one today. Oh, Jonathan has a quick qualification on the storage question earlier. He says the storage is only for nodes with the indexer enabled. Okay. It's good to know. It's good to know. Already an option for the storage sensitive node operators out there. Cool beans. Let's see here. Man, the chat is on one today. This is fun. Okay, we got another block of questions. Kishore is asking, signature verification tries multiple combinations. Is it a costly process? He's just personally curious.
No, it's not.
Oh, easy enough. Nice. All right. Chance of more fields being added to Oxpow template later. Excuse me. Do you think the hashing method will still behave consistently across nodes?
I mean, it has to remain consistent, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious why. This is a little out of my depth. So, personal question here. Um, what additional fields might be added to the Oxpow template later, or do you not hold the same view as Kishore here?
I don't think we'll be adding fields.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, Kishore, feel free to follow up on that one. No, all right. Sounds like we answered it. Cool. Next one here is multi-signature support planned, or do we assume Oxpow template can only ever contain one signature?
It's already a composite signature.
Oh, okay. All right. Hope that answers that one, Kishore. Man, we're lining these up and knocking them down today. Does the lower bound for SHA and script difficulty apply before or after EMA-based smoothing in difficulty calculation?
After the lower limit shouldn't like ever really get hit. Like in mainnet, we need the data to make testing and testnet easier. That's why we haven't been able to find BCH and Doge block at the moment, but we updated that and tested that, so it should allow us to do that today.
Nice. Got it. Got it. All right. Should we expect a smoother cheat issuance curve after the Kapow fork, since the network will be on a more modern and efficient mining engine?
I don't really get that question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think through it. Feel free to follow up, Kishore. I have some assumptions, but yeah. Blocks per month divided by 4 is Kapow grace period, question mark. So Kapow grace period, is it blocks per month divided by 4?
Yeah, that's that's in prime, so it's a month basically.
Got it. Okay, and that grace period is let's see if I understand this correctly. That's what the migration from ProgPow to KuPow. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Nice. All right. Next one here. Time to start TX is now much longer. This gives the system more breathing room before conversions begin. Is that correct?
Sorry, time to start what?
TX. Time to start transaction, I'm guessing.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Same question as Noah, Kishore. Maybe you can point to a commit. I suspect he's referring to the fixed conversion rate after initial SOAP launch. Shakar was talking about this a little bit on Monday. So let me know if I'm heading in the right direction there, Kishore. All right, we'll move on to the next one here. Are there cases where the decoder might fail if Ravencoin adds new transaction formats?
Yeah, go look at Ravencoin's GitHub.
uh,
I think they've made like 3 commits in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But if they did, we can always just filter it at the pool, or we can support it.
Right.
So, like, at the end of the day, the only transaction that exists in the template implicitly is the Coinbase. And we don't have to do anything but a P2 PKH in the Coinbase. So if they support like new transaction types, it's probably going to manifest in the Merkle tree. At which point, like, subsidy template has to be aware of it, or we're actually running modified nodes so that like subsidy pool doesn't even need to be aware of it. So we potentially wouldn't have to do anything in most cases, but I think it's very unlikely that there'd be changes to Ravencoin.
Got it. Yeah, it's good to know. And also just
Same holds true for all of the networks here. If they make changes, as long as it's not affecting the header or the Merkle tree, it's not going to affect us at all.
Okay. Yeah, and just another call out. Not a lot of changes happening in these chains. Cool. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to move on to this next one here, and then I'll follow up, Kishore. how expensive is it to reconstruct Merkle roots for multiple blocks during testing?
Um, Not expensive.
All right. Easy enough. I'm going to go back to that chi question there. Just to reiterate, the question is, time to start transactions now much longer. Does this give the system more breathing room before conversions begin? Kishore added.
That's basically, it just allows the system to equilibrate.
Right.
Because
Okay.
there's to be a change in the reward per block. So, like, you want to give time for the hash rate to equilibrate against the new reward, or that turns on. That's why it's there.
Right. Yeah, we covered this one ad nauseum with Shikara during the dev Q&A on Monday. All right, rock on. Great questions, guys. Yeah, just to reiterate, like what we're looking at currently, if I understand correctly, is we should be seeing an upgrade to Orchard Testnet coming through today. So the team can test mine some Bitcoin Cash, Doge, Litecoin blocks. And then if all goes well, we should see mainnet, or the release tag for mainnet come out soon after that. And then, expect, approximately 5 days from there, before the correct block height is hit and the changes go live. Meanwhile, team is, reviewing the staking contract and working on getting that audited, trying to get everything out before Christmas. So we have time to support the pools if anything goes awry. Okay. All right. Keeper is adding here. Time to start transaction was 100 earlier, and now it's 15 times blocks per day. Yep. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was for testnet,
Oh, yeah. Got it.
obviously.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Testnet runs a little bit quicker.
But we don't care about it equilibrating testnet, do we?
No. Nope. That
So,
makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Going back up. Appreciate that, Kishore. Steph is wondering, why not daily buybacks? Just curious.
Is he joking with us or what?
I can't tell. He first asked, how often are buybacks occurring on SOAP? Nintron chimes in. He thinks we said every 1 to 3 days or so.
Yeah, we can't necessarily commit, right? We're dealing with the market maker.
Right,
We have like humans in the loop still, so
right.
you know, got to give some flexibility there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jonathan also adds, he says it depends on when the block reward is available, since there are different lockup times for different chains. BCH has a 24-hour lockup, for example. And yeah, another call out to the manual coordination.
Yep.
Rock on, guys. Nice.
I mean, the other thing too is like market makers might like give us worse points depending on size. So,
Fair.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's constraints.
that makes sense. There's constraints and little manual effort on that out the gate. Okay. We got some more questions coming through here. Guys, we are knocking these down today. All right. Since share rewards are no longer implicitly bounded by the block reward, what's the new assumption the protocol relies on to keep reward distribution predictable?
They are related to block reward.
Okay.
So there's like an equivalent to power diff that's calculated. That normalizes drawn script to Kapow, so everything's on an equal economic basis. That means that it's all related to the like network diff.
Got it. Okay. Moving right along. Could yield payouts introduce mercenary capital that front runs SOAP rewards and dumps versus burn, which is pure supply reduction? Oh, that's a good question. I think it depends on timing, right? Like it's going to be a 30-day lock and 30-day vest, I think is the initial idea here.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's right. Obviously, we're designing it not to do that.
right. Okay. Good question though, Kishore. Definitely something that teams considered. Interesting. Okay. Could SOAP become a victim of its own success, i.e., yield attracting so much Quai demand that it artificially boosts TVL only to face sharp exits? Another great question.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got to manage yield, right?
Right.
So you need to lower it as the price is going up, so you can raise it when the price goes down.
Yeah, makes sense. You've also spoken about in the past, like the idea growth rate. Do you want to share any thoughts there?
Um, yeah, there's like an implicit profitability to this whole system. It's just started around 40%. So that's going to like turn over every time the network doubles. So go from like 40 to like 33 to 26 to like whatever. But there's like profitability implicit in this system as long as it's going up. So the profitability means that like you're always having excess in buying and selling.
Right.
So at least from the mining component. Now there's other components that can go against that, but like kind of what your profitability is.
Okay, that's interesting. Appreciate that. Moving right along. The RPC now exposes payout script in OxPow. Is this mainly for miner transparency, or does it play a role in validating subsidy mine blocks during SOAP consensus?
One more time, man. You're too quick on these.
Oh, my bad. The RPC now exposes payout script in OxPow. Is this mainly for miner transparency, or does it play a role in validating subsidy mined blocks during SOAP consensus?
If it's in the RPC, that's for tracing.
Okay, cool. So, not for SOAP consensus. Sounds like more for just additional visibility for stakeholders.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So like the problem is you got to be able to trace everything, like given the commitments, right? Should be paying generation. We need to know like if we're paying people or are we getting the hash rate we need. We need to know like what blocks were produced, right? So it's just you gotta have these hooks to be able to see all this data.
Right. Okay. Nice. Next one here. Why was Ox template added to the list of acceptable reflected P2P types only as a pointer?
I do not know.
All right. Kishore, you are super deep in that GitHub repo, man. Shout out to you for all the research you're doing over there. Feel free to drop some links to some commits if you want us to focus on something specific. Wotan was asking.
I think I actually do know that one.
Oh, okay.
I think it has to do with the fact that we don't have like special types. They're all like supported types within the Golang, like JSON encoding, decoding.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna ask our
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
just copy that one, would you?
Yep.
Send it to me and him.
Will go. Snagging that. All right. Wotan was asking, what is the cooldown for unstaking? Alan chimed in there, 30 days. Check. Got it. Nintron is wondering, not sure if we can talk about it, but any updates on Wormhole or Kraken integrations? He knows the ball is mostly in their court at this point, but he was curious.
Yep, still in their court.
Got it. Rock on. Yeah, we got that question during the X Space yesterday too. So same situation, guys.
I mean, ultimately, guys, like, it's like volume and PA that like prioritizes you in these cadences.
Yeah.
So hopefully, with SOAP going live, we'll get both those things, and we will rise in priority.
There you go. I'll also encourage those hanging out on X. Feel free, drop in their comments. Let them know which chain is your favorite. That goes a long way. Rock on. All right. Next one here. Kishore says, somebody was asking, can we think of implementing sponsored transactions through introducing opcodes auth and auth call? Yeah, any thoughts on that? Are you familiar with those opcodes, Dr. K?
Loosely, he's talking about like letting people basically do gas and sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with some proposals. I don't know if I'm familiar with those in particular. Is there like a use case that they're wanting to do?
No, that was pretty much it. They say, you know why I'm suggesting these opcodes? Say, for example, we are short of Quai or Chi for gas. Also, some dApps can use this property to mimic Web2 apps.
Yeah, no, I understand like generally why there's proposals like that. And all the things that like we looked at, we did discuss some of these. But there was never like a great solution that existed, unfortunately. So just kind of got pushed down in the stack. There's probably ways to do it, but we never saw like a good way to do it.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, lots of band-aids happening over in the Ethereum space. Could be useful in the future, but yeah, I personally haven't messed around with anything that uses those. So maybe one day, guys. Maybe one day. All right. Let's see here. Kishore is adding some context. He says, I skimmed through a paper that suggested introducing anonymity budgets, a concept where transactions remain fully anonymous, concealing senders, recipients, and amounts, yet still preserve accountability. Under this model, each user could be limited to sending up to X number of coins anonymously per month. What do you think of this as a concept?
I mean, it's a little bit retarded.
To me, it kind of sounds like another Band-Aid on a
Yeah,
fully.
well, I mean, the problem is you said user, which means like you're splitting ID on people. So now you're back to like a permission system, and then you have like an arbiter. Like there's this, there's a couple things that exist that just don't do well in gradients. Which one of them is free speech, right?
Yeah.
Another one is privacy. Like once you know, break the seal, it doesn't go well.
Right.
So I don't think there's like great systems to compromise at the protocol level. There's certainly tools at the application layer that like people can use and build to create gradients if they wanted to, but it'd be completely voluntary.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that makes sense. We've talked about this a lot. Actually, I have a personal question here, Dr. K. Maybe 2 years ago now, when Tornado Cash was going through it, I met a few other uh, ZK developers who were building something similar to Tornado Cash, and I've heard this more than once. So, like, here's my question: is the ability to do an audit really like what you think regulation is keen on here when it comes to privacy on chain? And if so,
No, it's the surveillance state thing.
okay, yeah, I
Like
should have
let's just
expected
like
that.
be perfectly honest, right? Like the fucking inflation has been horrendous. These rules didn't exist before the mid to late '90s. They set things like SARS at like $10,000, but $10,000 in like 1990 is probably like 50K today, right? So they're just like squeezing you down to these de minimis values, um, forcing like reporting by everybody. Um, like this is just a police state, like bar none. I mean, it's the same thing with gun control.
Yeah,
Like gun control isn't about safety, boys. If you think gun control is about safety, I have a bridge to fucking sell you. Right?
yeah, no, 100%.
Or according to George Strait, maybe I got an oceanfront property in Arizona, but like, yeah, your opinions on the world are highly regarded if you think about gun control as about safety.
Yeah. Well, and so I was on a space. This was
So it's the same thing here. It's the exact same thing.
fair. Yeah,
It's about corruption, control, and uh like sustaining the parasitic bureaucratic state. Like nothing else.
no. Yeah, no, I think we're in agreement there. I also, to bring this back to like Chi and Quai Network, one of the things I've been thinking about is, for the
So
criminal.
here's one, guys. Here's one, guys. An armed society is a polite society,
Yes.
right? Everyone says like we have these like gun deaths in America. If I took out the Democratic metros from those statistics, safest country in the world.
No.
Safest country in the world with 1 billion guns.
No.
You are, I think the number was, you are 100 times less likely to be murdered by a CHL holder in Texas than by the average person.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So tracking all that, to bring it back to Quai and Chi though, one of the things I think about. Well, so like if we assume surveillance state and the governments and banks and everybody just trying to like eke out more and more control and influence. Um, I believe there will still always be criminals, and we need somebody to go like hunt down those criminals and be able to actually like hold them accountable.
Use the tools that are available to you without violating the First, Second, Fourth, or Fifth Amendments.
Bingo. Bingo.
Like we've done it in the past, you can do it in the future. Like stop being so fucking lazy.
Right.
And don't like go private companies in jurisdictions and commerce that you don't even have regulatory authority over to build these tools for you.
Right.
So that you can be lazy.
Right.
Like what are we talking about?
No, 100%. So like I was just thinking about Chi though the other day when we were talking about privacy and the ability to like stay compliant, and, like all this other jazz. And this kind of like the conclusion I came to, and I love your opinion, Dr. K, is the police, the detectives and whatnot, the people holding criminals accountable, they shouldn't be able to use these like um, surveillance state style tooling in order to like track them down. They need to do like the real detective work. But
Well,
ultimately,
guess what? They're already using this surveillance state style tooling.
yes,
So, like, honestly, like, thinking that you need compliance here is, like, again, a highly regarded, like, opinion.
yes,
Because, like, we're already, like, crazily on the back foot.
yes,
Like, they are on top of us, just beating us in the face with, like, repeated punches as, like, free society. And our discussion is how can we make their job easier? Like what?
right,
Like you have to realize that, Chi as a construction on a blockchain is like, okay, there's problems with it, right? There's things that we can fix to some degree in the tooling, but like we're still fighting the fact that they monitor all the fucking traffic on the internet.
right,
Right? So like why do you like the reason that we want to use Nepo powers, the reason you want to have distributed RPCs, the reason you want to have D pools is because it makes it harder to track that shit.
100%.
Right? So like to think that like anybody has like front foot advantage here is like you just don't even understand the game we're playing right now. Right? Like go to Monero, you have the same problem. Like how many Monero nodes do you think these guys run? I know they run a lot.
Right.
They do chain analytics. They had to add Dandelion to try to obscure the IPs. The mixins don't fully work. You have the same issue with Zec and tracking. Like they can get you because they run the fucking nodes, and the way that the wallets work, like create signatures on time and IP addresses. And if they're sitting there constantly monitoring the network, like they can get you for that.
Yep.
So you can have like good cryptography, but the data flows like give it away because they have this giant ass surveillance state in these data centers in the Southwest that record fucking everything.
100%.
So like they don't need any help.
No.
Like this isn't even a fair fight right now. Like what are we talking about?
No, it's not a fair fight.
So like whoever's like, oh, compliance this or like whatever that, like, come on guys. You're like you're playing their like song.
Yeah.
To a person that's about to like annihilate you.
Yeah. No, 100%. So like where I was going though is that, with Chi, you get that cache-like privacy at scale. Like you said, with Nepo Pals, you get the decentralized node, so you don't have to use, node A or like the quote unquote trusted centralized data providers to, get your transactions in the pool or, audit your own transactions. And so where I was kind of going with that was like, oh, I just realized like, I don't lose visibility to my own accounting when I use Chi. Right?
In the same way, like if you want to, you can fully reveal like everything about Chi.
Right.
Like that's your choice.
Right, exactly. Now you have a choice of whether or not you want to fully reveal everything you know about your Chi wallet. You can do your own accountability, your own auditing. Um, and ultimately, like, if the detective has done the work, then, they know what key they need to reveal to, like, get the facts. And then they can use, a monopoly of violence on that criminal. But outside of that, nobody's none the wiser. So it feels like, the more I think about this, the more it just feels like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an amazing solution, to say it too simply there.
Yeah, these compliance discussions are like strictly like sycophantic things from like people who basically have like Munchausen syndrome or whatever it is.
Right.
Like, come on.
Okay. Well, appreciate you entertaining that. We got a few more questions here, so we'll get back on topic. Uh, definitely a fun one though. Keyshore's collected a few questions from outside and different
Yeah,
servers.
hold on.
Yep,
Let me
sure.
like put it this way. Like everybody who's doing this is um um they're trying to suck up to TradFi in hopes of finding PMF.
Right.
Like that's it. Right? They're like, we'll be like kind of decentralized, but we're gonna be compliant decentralized so that BlackRock is friendly with us.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's all they're doing. They're not doing it for your benefit. They're doing it for their own benefit at your expense.
Uh, the thought of like TradFi right now, especially with today's narrative, it just breaks my brain because it's like I don't like do these guys like somebody has to realize that none of these chains like actually scale. So like they're adopting blockchain technology and introducing all this additional overhead, where ultimately they end up in like private centralized ledgers anyways. Like they might as well just
No,
use the fucking
it's
database.
fundamentally incompatible. Is
Yeah,
the point, right?
exactly.
Like it's an incompatible business model at all levels, right?
100%.
Um, yeah, like they just it's not it doesn't play well together. And then like the systems they design don't have self-custodial sovereign properties. The
No,
systems that the independent systems have, they want to remove those properties,
absolutely.
right? So they're just like fundamentally incompatible at some level, given the current state of banking. There was a time in the world in history where like banking privacy was like highly regarded and respected, and a bank's willingness to keep your data private is like why you went to the bank,
Yep.
right? And this has had many evolutions like over time, from like the earliest part of the 20th century to like the mid 20th century to like the 70s and 80s, right? Like the Panama Papers, Panama was doing that because you had private banking. Okay, some people were using it for tax evasion. Cool, but like they were providing a service, which was private banking.
Right.
The Swiss used to be known for private banking for 100 years,
Yeah.
right? And they were trusted by everybody, and like their whole country was seen as geopolitically neutral because they wanted to be the banking center of the European continent, and they maintained that right up until Obama broke them.
Yeah. Well, and then Credit Suisse went tits up with the whole Silicon
Well,
Valley Bank
I
fiasco.
think that like had something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Was basically like the reason he was able to break the Swiss is because the Swiss needed bailout from the IMF,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
But like those are valuable services, guys.
Yeah. Super valuable
Like
services.
it's just like in our day and age, we like have become, I don't know, just um completely like apathetic to giving away like our data and information at all levels, including banking, which then makes the ability to control us in like ridiculous, unlawful, and unfair ways like possible. Right? Like even think about like Choke Point 2.0. Like that only like works in this paradigm of like contemporary banking. It doesn't work in like Swiss banking. Like you're like a Swiss bank and they're like, oh, we don't like your business because it's like crypto. Like that's not how they would operate,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But
No,
anyway,
completely incompatible use cases. But again, like I just keep getting like banging my head against like, don't they realize that like it it doesn't scale to the throughput that they need? And the fact that it doesn't scale to the throughput that they need, like we're just going to end up in private SQL ledgers at the end of the day. They're going to quote unquote
well,
tokenize everything.
no. It's worse. It's worse. So like what's happening in this like stratification of crypto, okay, is a consolidation to the Fed. So the Federal Reserve is a consortium of privately owned banks.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I think there were like 6,000 banks that like had shares in the Fed. I don't know what number that is right now. But every time we have one of these regional banking crises, or every time you see a merger and acquisition, you're actually shrinking the footprint. Now, the footprint, though, from a shareholder perspective, has to do with like I think like capital, right? So those 6,000 banks like aren't equally represented. It's highly disproportionate, and it's really just the major banks, which at this point are Chase, Citibank, um, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and I think there's one other that like hold, probably 80% of the money. So basically, the Federal Reserve is a consortium of 5 private banks, right? And what they're basically trying to do is they're trying to set up a system where one or more of those like 5 institutions are gonna have a shared protocol ledger, which is like an SQL thing, but it's not a um, um, it's not like it's public, or it's more public, or it's like public within those like 5 or 6 consortium members,
Right.
and like that ledger effectively becomes the Fed, and then whoever's not part of it either gets pushed out entirely or they get folded in, and it's kind of like a super merger into just one banking institution. Like that's where they're going with this, but then everything's going to be trackable and traceable at a single point.
One ledger to rule them
Yeah,
all.
it's going to be one. It's going to be one privately controlled ledger with your data available to pretty much anybody that wants it. So like that's what's going on. So like blockchain has like set up 2 paths. One that's going to lead to like ultimate consolidation in this like semi-private setting, or like ultimate um, like freedom in a public, scalable, uncontrolled setting. But the two are going to become pretty incompatible with each other at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you nailed it. It just like blows my mind. But it makes sense when you realize like the ultimate end goal. And unfortunately, I don't think the rest of crypto realizes where they're heading. Or if they do, they're just trying to be one of the few who are included on that one ledger to rule them all. But that's why we're here, guys. Shout out Freative. That's exactly what he said. This is why I'm here. Quai Chief for Liberty, baby. 100%. 100%. Oh man. I love these talks, Dr. K. I really appreciate you entertaining that. I know the community loves it as well. They definitely noticed the energy shift there. That's why we're here, guys. 100%. Okay, we got some other questions from outside the community. We're over time right now, but some of these are pretty good. So you got time for one more, Dr. K?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to go with this last one, Kishore. From a narrative perspective, does yield first risk positioning Quai as just another high APY farm rather than a monetary asset? Conversely, sorry, I'm reading too fast again. We'll start there. From a narrative perspective, does yield first risk position Quai as just another high APY farm rather than a monetary asset?
Yeah, it really depends on like how you do the APY, right? So obviously we want to do it for like a period of time to get initial capital in, but as like the system grows, you're gonna normalize the yields down to lower and lower rates, right?
Makes sense. Makes sense. I wanted to throw in something about where the yield comes from there, but that's a much better answer. Okay, the follow-up here is conversely, does pure burn too early risk leaving adoption liquidity on the table when SOAP's goal is to expand usage.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, he's like answering his own question with the second question, right?
Yeah.
Which is then if you only do burns, then you don't get like more capital into the system than you otherwise could have, right? So like you need a little bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are great questions. I actually really want to ask one more. You got time for one more, Dr. K?
Yeah.
All right. Last one for today, guys. Really appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. This one is, how will SOAP create sustainable liquidity for multi-chain trading pairs?
I mean, ultimately, like, you're going to have this like flow of, say, these secondary tokens needing to get converted into Quai, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that mining creates a flow rate, and that flow rate we can eventually ideally clear through an on-chain exchange is going to be super interesting in terms of liquidity, because we can guarantee, a couple $100,000 a day in like actual trade volume. That's probably going to be, I mean, not probably, it will be the most liquid like DEX on POW that exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I love that question. Definitely asking the right ones on future state of what's possible with Project SOAP, subsidized open market acquisition protocol. Guys, it is live in testnet as we speak. People are mining Ravencoin blocks, myself included. I got a few shares submitted to Cryptex last night. Shout out Kiri for the guide there. That was way too easy to follow. Less than 6 minutes of video, and I was up and mining after a fresh Hive install in less than an hour. That was frankly like way too easy. Kiri's guide also goes into how to rent hash rate from Chlor and get that configured in your Hive OS account. There it is. Thanks, Kiri. Great guide, guys. Lots of opportunities coming for everybody involved, whether you're a miner or not, with Project SOAP. Keep your eyes peeled for even more updates. Let's see here. As Dr. K stated, we will be hopefully mining some Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, and Litecoin blocks today. And then once that happens, the updates are going to come fast and furious. So definitely give the Quai Network a follow and stay tuned for more. We will be back Thursday night live streaming again, and we might try out a new pool or pivot to something else. My node is still, I got indexing flag enabled. It's still taking its sweet time syncing from scratch. So we might not be able to make progress on the dashboard on Thursday, but we'll do something fun. And obviously we're giving out Quai to anybody who tunes in and joins in on the chat over on X. But it's been a great chat today, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Any final thoughts, Dr. K, before I wrap it up officially?
Yeah, thanks for everybody coming. Get your SHA script miners ready, and your GPUs ready. Any hash rate we bring on is growth. So it's a virtuous cycle here. More hash rate means more price increase, which means more hash rate. So, gonna grow this thing to a few 100,000 a day. It's gonna be good.
Boom, boom. And staking on top of that, that's coming soon as well, folks. The team is actively reviewing that smart contract. That should be out sometime around mainnet. That's the goal. A lot of updates coming before Christmas, guys. So it's going to be a white Christmas over here at Quai Network. No matter where you're living, it's going to be good. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much, Dr. K, for the time on behalf of the community. I know you guys are burning a lot of midnight oil out there, making a ton of sacrifices to get this across the line. For everybody who's been hanging on quite a journey, guys. I was checking the details the other day. This Discord server has been around for about 5 years. It's absolutely insane. Our ambassadors are cracked. If you guys need to get your hands on some Quai, sign up at Kipper Money. If you're a verified account, you can get some free Quai just for signing up. But otherwise, there's a ton of X content out there for y'all to engage with. Our community, Quai Nation, Shadow is absolutely cracked on sending tips on Kipper. Tune in to our live streams on Tuesday and Thursday and chat with us to earn some Quai. But if you need even more, you can go trade at Mexi, Gate.io, and LBank. You can swap your useless tokens for more useful ones at SwapSpace and Let's Exchange. Get your mining rigs ready, ASICs, GPUs, tons of opportunities over here, and secure those bags, folks. Tangem wallet is fully integrated now. So if you have one of those, definitely want to take advantage of that. And we will see you guys tomorrow night on a live stream and again on X for Quai Friday. It's going to be a good one, guys. Should get a lot of updates between now and then as well. So make sure you're following the accounts. Really appreciate it, guys. We're going to wrap it here. Hope you have an amazing Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, bye-bye.